Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Yes, back. Today I'll be talking to you about how to carry in MOBAs and what you need to focus on if you do plan to carry in your games. Now, the number one thing you need to do is know what heroes are meta. If you know the meta heroes, just look on YouTube or experiment with your heroes. Don't waste your gold or in-game currency on things that aren't meta or useful, because you can carry extremely hard, but if the hero isn't able to deal a lot of damage or support heavily or even basically just do whatever you need in that moment, the hero won't be as useful. So look for the meta-based heroes. Number 2 is always farm. Always farm, always look at the map, always know when to team fight. You do that, you'll be fine. And always, if you know you're getting carried by someone, don't be afraid to get carried, but instead help them continue to get farmed in order to carry harder. Now, the roles that usually carry the hardest is marksman, jungle, or mage. Support can also carry, depending on if the marksman or jungle are able to get supported by that support, such as in this Mobile Legends game right now. The support did amazing, always was with me late game, always gave me shields, heals, always where I needed her to be. So today I'll be comparing Mobile Legends to AOV and what you need to do in both of those. So Mobile Legends is mostly about just farming. If you're marksman or you're an assassin, you're going to be farming like crazy. Just farming throughout the entire game. There's never a moment you should not be taking a jungle or not clearing a lane or not getting a kill off a team fight. The entire game, you need to focus on getting gold, getting ahead, and snowballing as fast as possible. Because if you get ahead, there's a good chance that they will never be able to catch back up, especially on the meta heroes. I recommend looking up top 10 videos on the most meta heroes to carry in ranked, and make sure you always use the most popular builds. Not popular like most used, most popular as in ranked builds. Look for the rank 1, 2, and 3's build. Those are usually the best, and you might alterate throughout the build depending on their team comp, but always get the best builds, the most meta heroes. And I would recommend going with at least 2 or 3 people if you want to carry in ranked. But of course you can solo queue as long as you know how to carry. Okay, so always farm Mobile Legends. Always. I can't stress it enough. Always farm in Mobile Legends. No matter what you do, you're farming. Now, of course, team fight, very important, such as this team fight right here. Getting kills also gets you gold, but remember, farm. Make sure you take the turtle when you're able to take the turtle. I don't recommend taking it straight out, like from level 4. Your damage is way too low. There's no reason to take that. This isn't like AOV where the Abyss is like, oh, I can take it in like 30 seconds. This is more like this is going to take you at least a minute, especially if you solo the turtle. So I wouldn't recommend taking it off bat. But honestly, I didn't take the turtle this whole game. I think my team did, because I don't remember going to that turtle at all this game. So make sure you farm. And the best heroes, in my opinion, are the ones that have range or are assassins with massive amounts of burst in one shot. Like, you can go invisible as an assassin, but that isn't really my main focus when I go assassin. It's mostly getting burst damage and leaving. Burst damage, leaving. Marksman, burst damage, leaving. Burst damage, leaving. Mobility, that's always a key factor in Mobile Legends. If your hero has mobility and burst damage, and you know how to use that hero, your chances of losing are pretty slim, or you'll at least be able to carry during that game. Like that was a huge mistake right there, because she just click a button, you die. So that was my mistake, no HP. But anyways, you can see I came back, instantly got my kills back, got my gold back up. I constantly check the gold amount constantly because I always want to know how ahead I am, how farmed I am compared to them, who's carrying their team, who should I be aiming at during that game, should I chase this person, should I chase this person, depending on my gold amount, their gold amount, and their team. Always looking on the map, seeing where their team is, just to avoid a gank. Now, another thing to do on Mobile Legends if you want to carry is take this camp. I don't know its name, but take this camp. It gives gold over time, and that gold does add up over time. Imagine you're taking a whole 3 minions, which gives about around 300-ish gold, but add that on, you might get 600, 700 gold at the end of the counter from that camp alone. And always split push, split push, split push. If your team is top and you're bottom and you know you're not gonna make it top, just stay bottom, split push the tower, get the gold from the tower, leave, farm the rest of the bottom jungle, clear lanes, always get fed. Team fights are always priority, but if you can't make a team fight, don't break your back trying to get to the team fight when there's so many other objectives that can get you fed, get you caught right back up after that team fight. And if you push a lane, they have to focus on clearing that lane, which automatically gets people off you or off your teammate's lane to try to defend the lane you're pushing. So it's like you're winning, but you're also losing. It's more of a trade-off. So think of it as a trade-off. So now the Lord, I think of it as the Dark Slayer in AoV. The Lord is, in my opinion, stronger than the Dark Slayer, but you don't choose which lane it goes, and you can't just drop it like on a tower or in their core, because the Lord does a crap ton of damage for an apparent reason. Like, it does a load of damage to heroes and to towers. You can drop the Lord, and whatever lane it goes in, either you can push up with the Lord, but if it goes top lane, I like to push bottom lane. If it goes bottom lane, I like to push top lane. If it goes mid, I usually like to push straight down the mid or push top or bottom. It all depends on how pushed in your minions are. Whichever can get more beneficial to where the Lord is spawning is usually where it goes, or usually where I go. But normally if it goes top, I go bottom. If it goes bottom, I go top. I like to counterclockwise or counter where the Lord's movements are in order to get a double lane push to let my team push top with Lord while I push bottom to get their team split up. It's just more effective in my opinion. But as you can see, support always with me, helping me carry, giving me heals, giving me shields. Perfectly done. And I'm already basically fed, and I'm able to just snowball at this point, getting 6, 7, 8, 9 kills back to back, always going back into the jungle, getting that farm, getting the buffs. The buffs are very needed on these heroes in Mobile Legends. If you don't have a buff on your hero, I would recommend instantly going into the jungle, getting a buff late game, because late game, the buffs on the marksmen, the assassins, the mages, they're especially good. Just going back, getting that camp again for the extra gold, still want to continue snowballing. Never give them a chance to catch up. Even if you're 20k gold ahead, 30k gold ahead, which is honestly like extreme late game and you could just swap out gold. But even if you're like 30k, 40k, still farm. Never give them a chance. Never give them a single chance to catch back up. And also, don't drag games out. Like in standard, okay, maybe you can have fun and, you know, experiment. But in ranked, you just end it. Don't ever give them time to get their gold, catch back up. One tiny mistake can get you killed, like almost right there, almost died. But thanks to my little amounts of HP, I was able to live. And we secured the kill, or my teammate did. But I'm being super aggressive. I know they can't fight me. My Aegis shield is up. As you can see, I popped it. He couldn't kill me with the support heals. So honestly, he couldn't even kill me if he went back and I had no HP. He couldn't kill me because I had the shield, the support, and the heal. But this is about the end of the game, or nearing the end of the game. This wasn't a very long game because I just started snowballing so hard after my one death. Yeah, after my first death, we just started snowballing, playing so well. But Like I said, farm, 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 farm. This is Mobile Legends. Always farm, always farm. Give them no time. Of course, give your teammates farm and give them jungle items at times, but if you're trying to carry, always focus on yourself and focus on your team at the same time, but you're a priority. When you're snowballing, continue to snowball. Continue. Tell your teammates to protect you. Always, always stay alive. Because if you die, the snowball is dead, and the chances of you winning are much lower. So continue to just snowball, live. Even if your teammates die, as long as you live and you get kills out of it, and it's an even trade or it's a greater trade, just continue to do that. And as you can see, the game is over. I was still farming. In my opinion, I probably should have been up there taking the core, but I didn't know my team would focus on it. But we ended the game pretty fast. Complete snowball, no type of challenge, just farmed, farmed, farmed. And try to play with a support. Supports usually come in handy, really handy. If you have a good support, then you're carrying. The support can always be with you, keeping you alive. Now, the next game is AOV, and I'm going to tell you what you need to do in AOV. Now, AOV, they have roles, as in like exact roles. You have to play this role in order to have an effective game. Okay, like maybe like a low elo, you might not need, you don't need a jungle, you don't need a support maybe, depending on the elo. Like if you're bronze or silver or gold, you might not even need a jungler. But when you get to diamond and maybe a bit higher than that, like veteran master, of course, like veteran master, you guaranteed need a solid team in order to win in ranked matches. Like here, perfect example of a support. Very well played to get the zap and get the kill on Valheim, to go right back into my jungle to farm. Like I said, always farm. Even on AOV, on most MOBAs, your number one goal is to get ahead. If you get ahead early, your late game is easily obtained. The longer the game goes on, the lower your chance of winning. You have to end the games extremely fast. As you can see, I'm taking the farms at bottom, knowing I'm gonna have to snowball early, so I have to get as much gold as possible, as fast as possible. As you can see, 2-on-1, I'm like, okay, I'm going in. Never mind, I'm backing off, because Cricknack can burst me down. So I didn't even try to fight that. And I didn't have no vision on their mage, Alistair. So if he would have stunned me, I would have been deadlocked and I would have died at that moment. Now, of course, right here, I do die because I get bursted down. But I think of it as more of a equal-ish trade, because I got their jungler and I got a kill off of it. It was a 2-for-1 trade, so So I told them to ping missing. Of course, I cut it out because of most don't want to see a death timer. So anyway, go back to farming, just farming. In jungle, you have to clear your jungle, you have to get both buffs, you have to make sure you're ahead, you got to get your jungle item farmed up, you have to play your role on AOV, you have to watch the map on AOV, you have to make sure you clear waves in AOV. Mobile Legends is all about farming, getting ahead, snowballing. That's literally what Mobile Legends is, just farming, getting ahead, snowballing. That's the exact combo. And run with a support. That's the exact combo in Mobile Legends. AOV is a lot more complex. You have to play your role, you have to gank at times, you have to make sure you focus on the map, you have to keep your teammates alive, you have to have a very good support or a decent enough support to carry, at least carry the ones you have to carry. Because if you're carrying, you need someone to watch your back as you're carrying, so you don't get ganked or jumped on while you're carrying. Because in AOV, you can be 4,000 gold ahead and still die from maybe 2 CCs and a bunch of bursts following up after that said CC. Now, clearing, getting gold, getting ahead, farming, clearing, gold, ahead. Always, that's in my mentality. That's basically engraved. Always farm, clear jungle, always farm, clear jungle. Engage in team fights, gank, ping, where everyone is, taking objectives. In this game, I didn't take Abyss, but that's because it was mostly I was focused on the team fights because we were just engaging in team fights the whole game. So I didn't really have time to like get objectives. Wait until his death sickle's gone, then I proc my skill. Well executed. Alistar wasted his ult. S1 zap, perfectly executed. Get them low enough to do the finish blow. If you get the last hit in AoV, you get more gold, and I would recommend trying to get last hit. Well, that's if you're carrying or you're marksman or mage or something like that. But if you're like support, try to give the gold to your jungler or the one carrying, because the gold won't really benefit you as heavily because you're mostly building tank. So try to get your ADC, marksman, and all that fed more. In AoV, you want to invade. You want to heavily invade. You want to make sure their jungler's completely useless. You want to make sure their support is completely useless. You want to adapt to their comp. If their comp is all dive, you want to be able to make sure you know where they are. You want to make sure your support checks bushes. You want to make sure you don't get dove. If they're burst, you want to make sure you have shield or you have some type of defensive item that if you do get bursted down, you're able to escape. If they have all CC, you want to tell your support, or not even all CC, maybe like 2 CC heroes like Alistar or maybe Darcy. You want to make sure you tell your support to buy the appropriate support item in order to do that, or break out of the CC so your team doesn't take massive losses due to that. Also, bush camping for both games, I would recommend it. I'm not saying it's the best strategy or it's the most nicely played way, but it does work majority of the time if it's a well-placed camp. Now don't hard bush camp. That's just being a complete troll. Don't hard camp someone for like 30 seconds. That's being bogus. But you can camp maybe a little bit, unless it's for a team gank. Maybe, but it all depends. Don't just be camping bushes 94 seconds. Don't camp that long. You're just wasting your farm time, and that's not really fun camping someone, unless you're camping the enemy jungle and it's a Lindez. It's hilarious, fully hilarious, or it's a Cricknack. It's just hilarious because they get so toxic and mad. Even a Quillin. Now I hesitated to jump back in because I know Alistar had his ult, so I was hesitant. As you can see, it paid off. I waited till my support came up. Then we just finished him off. I got an assist. I wanted a kill, but assist is fine also. Clear tower, do as much damage. Towers give massive gold depending on which tower you take, but they all give some type of gold. So I would recommend taking towers when you can take a tower. Don't just dive 3 people under tower just because the tower is low. I would recommend taking the tower and then diving, or being able to fully take that tower, pull off, hide in the bush, and then gank them after that. So at this point, I'm already basically snowballing because I can 2-shot their entire team besides their support. So right here I die because I get CC'd, then I get bursted down. Not the best play by me, but as you can see, I got an assist. We got 2 kills off of 1, so it was a pretty decent trade. So automatically go back into jungle, farm, get my stacks up, get as much as possible, try to get as fed as possible, trying to get to that late game, before they get to their late game. You don't even want to get it too late game. You want to be late game, and you want them to stay early game. That's the strategy. You want to be ahead. If your team is lacking, you need to make sure you're ahead. Even if your team is behind, if you're ahead and you can carry, you will win that game. Now, as this game, my team was just diving like maniacs. They were just heavily diving, like diving, engaging. So I didn't really have time to take the Abyss, but I did take the Abyss when I was able to swing around to it. But you can see my team is just diving strongly. Just no time, giving their team no time to farm. That is perfectly well done. When you're ahead buy a lot of gold, like 2K, 3K, 4K, 5, etc., etc. Continue to play aggressive. Give them no time to farm. Give them no time to relax. Always push, push, push. Take their jungle. Take their farm. Kill their support. And make sure, I can't stress it enough, make sure you adapt to their comp. If your carry is dying, you have to make sure you keep your carry alive. Or if you're the carry, you have to make sure you stay alive. Because if they get a shutdown, the gold they get from you is extremely massive. Because I once got a shutdown on a Zephy's, or it was a Zuka, it was one of the two, and they gave me 800 gold off that one kill. And that one kill gave me enough gold to just snowball the rest of the game. At like 13, 14 minutes in, we were just snowballing, completely turned it around just because I was able to buy one extra item that was needed. So I would recommend not getting killed if you're on a 6 kill streak, 7 kill streak, etc. Now, another important thing is making sure you take objectives in both games. Lord, take it when possible. Dark Slayer, make sure you take it as soon as you can. I wouldn't recommend taking it if your team is down. I would recommend just taking it when you get vision of where they are. Right here was a very bad play. I got ganked by the Cricknack and the Annette. I did not see them. That was very well played by them in that part. Right there, I was making sure I didn't have to adapt my build for their comp. But I noticed they didn't have heal. They didn't have a lot of CC, so I didn't really have to adapt my build. I just continued to go with my regular build, which is the last item being Pierce. So continued with that. Back to farming, taking my buffs. In AOV, buffs are very crucial. The blue buff is very crucial. If you're on mage or anyone that has CC or CD, not CC, who has like high cooldown reductions, taking the blue is very, very important. It also gives a good amount of mana. I think it's 4% every second, which is extremely, extremely good. You'll never run out of mana as long as you have a blue buff. And the red buff is a slow and a burn over time. So that's also a very good buff if you have a physical hero like a marksman or Zephy's or someone like that, or just to take it for the extra slow. So it's actually extremely well designed. It also gives a good amount of experience and gold just for killing it. So this is about the end of the game right here. But like I said, Snowball, continue to always farm, know where their jungler is, look at the map, good positioning, farm, 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 take objectives, invade when you're ahead, be aggressive, never give them time to even think when you're ahead. Make sure they don't know what's going on. But that's about all I can really say. Farm, Snowball, always win. Thanks for watching. See you next time.